Hey folks, welcome back to Car Show and Tell. I'm Tim the Tool Man, and we're back again at the No Kill Car Shelter with, I don't even know what to call this. I don't have a witty nickname for this one. I was asked to fix this car. Well, let me put it. Let me back up. Somebody asked me to help them find a good quality used car. Something not too old, not too many miles, and still in good shape. And I went along with her. She wanted me to look at a couple of cars. So we went and we looked at a couple of cars, and I shook my head and told her she shouldn't buy them because there were obvious problems with the cars that she was looking at. And there were a couple other cars that she wanted to see, and we made appointments, and then at the last minute she said she wasn't feeling good or whatever, and yada yada yada. And I had to call the people back and tell them we weren't coming to see the car for whatever reason. And then at some point she just went out on her own and bought this without having me check it out. And to her credit, the car runs and drives perfectly fine, you know, but there's a few things that, let me put it this way, I wouldn't have bought it. If I did buy it, I wouldn't have paid what she had paid, because there's a few obvious issues still with the car that might cause problems in the future and or are blatantly unsafe in the present. So this is more of a, I don't know, a cautionary tale for everybody. Things that you might want to be on the lookout for. So I'm going to take the camera. Is it still going?
Nope.
No?
Oh yeah.
Still going? Okay. We'll walk around here and where do I start? Well, let's start with the battery. Is obviously the wrong size for the car, and it is not secured into the chassis other than being held in by positive and negative cables. So that's not the way that's supposed to be, and it's not supposed to pass inspection that way, but that's how the used car lot passed it. So it needs proper sized battery and the proper battery retainers put in it. The other obvious issues that I could see here, well, not so much over here, but there's one clue. You see a zip tie holding a fan to a radiator, and you see a fan mount right here. It's a little more obvious on the opposite side. You see the radiator mount here and the peg that is supposed to fit into the radiator mount, but over on this side, what do we have? We have a radiator mount with an empty hole, and the peg on the radiator's several inches away over here. And that's because that's the wrong radiator for this car. The fans are zip tied to the radiator, barely. That's how they're held on. And I mean, to the credit of the zip ties, you know, they haven't gone anywhere, but I wouldn't trust that long term. I wouldn't keep that on my car long term. You want your radiator to be properly mounted. I suspect that this car was in a front end collision at one point, also because the front bumper cover fits a bit poorly. You can see the gap here underneath this headlight where the radiator, or I'm sorry, where the bumper cover is not properly fit. So also, one of the things we're going to do today as part of the video is disassemble this front end and see just how badly the damage really is and what it's going to take to fix it properly. The owner brought me the car to check out after she paid for it, and then when she left me the car in a blank check and just said fix everything that's wrong with it. So yippee-ki-yay. Okay, the third thing that's obviously wrong with the car, and you may not be able to see it, is that the seat wobbles because they didn't tighten all the bolts. Somebody's had the seat out in the past, and the mounting bolts for the seat have not been tightened. And I'm trying to move it. There we go. Can't see those, but I can pull it on here and it's moving. It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to move. When you get in the car and you put it in drive and you step on the gas, the seat's not supposed to go. The whole thing's going, whoop. It's moving back. And actually might be the seat mechanism that's broken it too from an accident. But I'll have to take it apart and find out. Oh, and the other thing that's wrong with the car. This is a big one. This is a big one. When you start the car and run it, that right there is the airbag malfunction indicator. Right here, passenger airbag off. So it has one of those airbags that turns itself off when there's nobody in the seat or when there isn't enough weight in the seat. It doesn't matter how much weight you put in that seat, that airbag never comes on. So I'm beginning to suspect that there's no airbags in this thing. So might check that out a little bit later too. But for right now, just gonna pause the video and we're gonna start taking this front end apart, and I'll show you what we find in a little while. Okay, stay tuned. Well, here's the first level. We took the plastic cover off of the front bumper cover here, and so far I see a drywall screw that's run straight into a headlight housing. A couple of fasteners here and here that aren't appropriate for their respective threads, and over here, this is where our upper bumper bracket is supposed to come the whole way out to the edge of the bumper on both sides. Here and over on the opposite edge, but it's broken off here and it's missing. I see some damaged sheet metal up under here, but let's just cut a piece of scrap metal, right? And we'll screw it to this, and then we'll screw the bumper cover to that. That's step one. We'll get this apart. There's some other screws that don't belong. Let's see what else we got. Okay, more great news. So we took the mounts off of the radiator in this corner and then that corner. The mounts were correct. They were in the right place. The radiator is incorrect for the car. I suspect it's for an older model year of Honda Accord, and they just slammed it in here because it was close enough. But peeled that back and I see the air conditioning condensing coil in front of the radiator, and the first thing I noticed is that the entire coil is bent. It looks like either end was twisted counter-rotationally to the other. So the whole coil is warped, and I think it can be straightened and reused if I can find the mounts, because they never put the mounts back. There should be a rubber cap on either end. There's a rod sticking up there, rod sticking out there. There should be a rubber cap on here, and it should be fit up into its mount. Sorry, right in this hole here. This mount is too far, it's bent too far up, and it's missing its rubber mount. So I'll have to find some of them, straighten the coil, put it back in its mount. This is looking like it's going to become a junkyard run to find all this little stuff that goes here and there. Oh, one other thing. I tried to unplug one of the fans, and instead of the fan for the plug coming out, the wires just pulled out of the plastic connector, so that's fun. They shouldn't have pulled out nearly as easily as they did. They just kind of came right out. So I'm going to need a new plastic plug-in to snap those wires into. Hopefully the metal retaining tabs on those terminals are still in good shape and they didn't break off. Hopefully it's just broken plastic retaining tabs in the connector body. So there's another small piece that I'm going to need to find. So let's keep going, see what else is wrong. Here we go again. Bumper cover's off. There were I took a few fasteners out of this top edge, those plastic push fasteners, right? And there were about 6 of those in there, and then the typical Honda screw, you know, right here in the wheel well on the driver's side. There was one there. I took that out. There was no screw on the passenger side. And then the bumper cover just kind of fell off because there were 0 fasteners holding the bottom edge of the bumper cover in the way that they're supposed to be. There's like 8 fastener holes. And there should be the typical Honda push fit plastic fasteners. There weren't. So we had 6 or 7 plastic fasteners and a screw holding the front bumper cover on. And I can already see with this out of the way. Here, John, you want to grab it? And if you'd like, could you please put it on right in front of the CRX? We can carry it around here. Yep. Just get it out of the way until we're ready to deal with that later. I see the front end of it's falling apart. Yeah, right here in front of this car. That's fine. Thanks. That's my friend John, the young man that I'm helping mentor. He wants to learn how to fix things. I don't know why. God help his soul. Anywho, here we can pretty much see the extent of what looks like the extent of the sheet metal damage here. So the bumper bracket, I'm sorry, the headlight bracket's busted right here. It should come up here and fasten somewhere in this area. It's broken off, so instead they've taken some sheet metal and bent this half-ass bracket and put it on with some self-tapping screws, and it looks like they've gotten something in here and pulled this corner back out to where it should be ish keyword. So I guess we're gonna have to take this apart. We're gonna have to straighten this sheet metal out a bit better, and we'll go from there. Alright, I showed you that corner earlier. Looks like they pulled this back out to where it's roughly where it should be, but I think I'm gonna have to take some of the sheet metal off and really straighten it out. We'll probably have to drill some spot welds here. Because I can see a bunch of wrinkles in this underlying support. I really think that this corner needs to come up, back up. I think it was pushed in and down. They pulled it up and out, but not quite far enough. Also, there's our front bumper and our front frame horn. That's supposed to be straight. It's supposed to come out from our frame rail straight on. It's not supposed to be pushed in and over to the right the way it is. So luckily This is a bolt-on frame horn. We got a little bit of warpage to this right here, but I think oh, there's another electrical connector I'm going to have to fix. Yep, that's going to have to get replaced. So, yeah. So, if I can, I'll try to find out the name of the used car lot. And when I do the follow-up video, I'm putting this all back together. Not to let you know where this car came from, but this is the way they sold it. I can unbolt this front bumper. Here, here, here. And another bolt underneath. And the same thing on the driver's side. 4 bolts, and this front bumper will come off the front frame rails. Both frame rails are still straight, so that's good news. It just looks to be some minor radiator support damage, and I think I might be able to cut those pieces, drill the spot welds, chisel those pieces off, straighten them back out, and then might be able to weld everything back together. If I have to, I'll take something off a donor car at the junkyard and weld it all back together. But yeah, let's turn this around. So yeah, if you're looking for a good used car and you know somebody that can help you out when you're going to look for one, maybe take their advice, or be patient enough to wait until they can come check the car out along with you. Like I said, I checked out a couple of cars before with her, and they were garbage. Reassembled wrecks, similar to this one, but actually in worse shape. So it is what it is. I don't know what she paid for it, but whatever it is, it was too much. I'm going to pull this radiator out because it's wrong. I'll order the right one. I'm going to try to straighten this air conditioning condenser out in the chassis without opening the AC system, because if that happens, I have to recover all the refrigerant. And that's more work than I really want, you know. So, let's see what I can get done here. And then we'll update you later on. So, I don't know what to call this one. If you can think of a, I don't know, good tag name, let me know. Leave a note in the comments. Project mistake. Project probably should have listened first time. Project, I don't know. Project probably should have left it in the used car lot. Whatever. Let me know what you think. Alright guys. Tune in next time when we start fixing it. I'll see ya. Bye. Alright. One more update here. There's the driver's side radiator support. It's nice and straight. And here's the one on the passenger side. You can see it's peeled away. It's pushed back from the frame rail here, and it's all bent up. So I'm going to have to put part of a radiator support in this thing. I'm going to wind up cutting here where it's spot welded to the radiator or the frame rail. I'm going to have to drill those out. I think I can save these 2 pieces, drill the spot welds out. But this piece here, on down here to the bottom of the radiator support, that's going to have to get cut out. I think I might be able to straighten this bottom up and reuse it, but I'm not holding my breath. We'll see what happens. I'll know later when I get the radiator out of it and get the AC condenser up and out of the way. So, we'll see more later. Alright folks, take care. Bye-bye.